Learning English is more effective when you do it in real situations. Today, we will see a small problem in its solution. Pay attention to the key phrases in their use. Ana, a Mexican tourist, is visiting a new city, precisely New York. She enjoys the walk, takes photos, and lets herself be carried away by the excitement of the trip. However, after a while, she realizes that she does not know where she is. She begins to take out her phone to check the map, but she realizes that she has no internet connection. Ana takes a deep breath and decides to ask for help. How will she solve it? Let's find out together while we learn English.
Excuse me, sir. I hope I'm not bothering you, but I think I am a bit lost.
Not at all, young lady. I was just enjoying the sun. You have that? Where am I? Look on your face. How can I help?
Is it that obvious? I'm Ana. I'm visiting from Mexico. I was looking for the public library, but my phone lost the signal and the GPS stopped working.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Ana. I'm John. Don't worry about the phone. Technology loves to fail when you need it most. You're actually just a few blocks away.
That is a relief. I have been walking for a while and I started to see the same buildings twice. I think I was walking in circles.
Ha ha ha. Well, Manhattan can be a maze if you don't know the trick. You're on 6th Avenue, but the library is on 5th. You need to head east for 1 block and then walk north.
East and north, okay. I usually have a good sense of direction. But these tall buildings make it difficult to see the sun or any reference point.
I understand perfectly. I've lived here for 30 years, and I still get confused sometimes in the financial district. Your English is excellent, by the way. Did you study it in Mexico?
Thank you. Yes, I studied it for a few years, but this is my first time using it in a real conversation. I'm a little nervous about making mistakes.
You shouldn't be. You're communicating clearly, and that's what matters. If you want a scenic route, walk through Bryant Park right here behind us. It leads directly to the library entrance.
That sounds lovely. I prefer a park over the noisy traffic. Is the library as beautiful on the inside as it is in the pictures?
Even more. So, make sure you go up to the 3rd floor to see the Rosemane Reading Room. It's quiet, majestic, and it feels like stepping back in time.
I will do that. Thank you, John. You have been very patient with me. I feel much more confident now.
It was a pleasure to help a traveler. Before you go, there's a small cafe inside the park called Joe Coffee. They have good espresso and, more importantly, free Wi-Fi to fix your map.
That is exactly what I need, a coffee and a map. Thank you again for your kindness.
Enjoy New York and Ana. Take lots of photos, but keep one eye on the street signs.
I will have a wonderful afternoon, John.
We have seen Anna's situation and how she solved it. Next, we will hear about her experience.
When I first arrived in New York City, I felt like a small ant in a giant forest of glass and steel. Everything was moving so fast. I had spent years studying English in my hometown in Mexico, but there is a massive difference between a textbook and the streets of Manhattan. Back home, my teacher always said, language is a tool, not just a subject. I finally understood what she meant when I stepped out of the subway and realized I couldn't find my way. I was standing on a corner, holding my phone like a shield, but the shield was broken, no signal, no GPS, nothing. I felt a knot in my stomach. In that moment, all the grammar rules I had memorized seemed to vanish. I thought to myself, why did I study so hard if I'm too afraid to speak? I saw people rushing past me, looking busy and important. I felt invisible. But then I remembered a phrase from my English class. Communication is about connection, not perfection. I realized that if I didn't speak up, I would stay lost. That is when I saw John. He was sitting on a bench, reading a book. He looked calm, a total contrast to the chaos of the city. I took a deep breath, walked toward him, and used the English I had practiced for so long. To my surprise, the words came out naturally. I didn't focus on my accent or whether I was using the correct preposition. I just focused on my need for help. John was incredibly kind. He didn't judge my mistakes. Instead, he encouraged me. He showed me that English wasn't an exam I had to pass, but a bridge to reach another human being. A lot of people think they need to be perfect or native to survive in a foreign country. My experience taught me that being at an intermediate level is actually a superpower. It means you have enough vocabulary to explain yourself and enough grammar to be understood. Because I knew English, I didn't just find the library, I found a story. I learned that Bryant Park is beautiful in the spring. I learned about the reading room cafe. If I had stayed silent, I would have eventually found my way using a paper map. But I would have missed the human interaction that made my trip special. Now, looking back, I realized that the 15-minute conversation with John taught me more than 3 months of classroom study. Why? Because it was real. There was a real problem being lost, a real emotion nervousness, and a real result finding the library. This is the secret to learning English. You have to put yourself in situations where the language matters. Don't wait until you are ready to speak. You are ready now. Mistakes are just proof that you are trying. If you are watching this or reading my story, I want to tell you, don't let fear stop you. New York is big, but the world is even bigger, and English is the key that opens all the doors. When your GPS fails and your voice will be your guide. Practice every day, listen to how people actually speak, and most importantly, be brave enough to ask for help. My trip to the New York Public Library started as a disaster, but it ended up being the best English lesson of my life. In the end, I reached the library. The lions outside, patience and fortitude, seemed to smile at me. I felt a sense of pride that had nothing to do with tourism and everything to do with personal growth. I realized that intermediate English is not a middle point. It is the beginning of freedom. I am Ana, a Mexican tourist who was lost, but thanks to my English, I found my way and a whole lot more.
Learning a language is about these small victories. One day you are asking for directions, in the next you are sharing your story with the world. That's it for today's video. Remember to subscribe and share. Catch you in the next video.